9:42, almost 9:43. You know, poetry and spoken word, it's not just about the words, although the words are really important, but the delivery is part of the art too. Tim Miner with Charlotte is Creative is hanging out with us this morning, and you brought cool friends.
I did, right? I mean, I brought my, we were talking about this before, I brought my twin, right? This is, if we were in Twins, I'm Danny DeVito, meet Charlotte's Arnold Schwarzenegger. But as you know, Thanksgiving's coming up, 'tis the season for sometimes uncomfortable conversations.
Sure.
And that got me thinking about how spoken word and poetry, slam poetry, really is a gift. It enables us to get topics and emotions and feelings out into the world in a safe way for us to engage them. And I don't know anybody doing better work in Charlotte than Terry Creech and the students that he has at BreatheINK.
Yeah, we're gonna head your way in just a second, Vanessa, because you're gonna perform for us, and I do have some questions for us. But Terry, let's talk a little bit first. First of all, thanks for coming.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you here. Tell me a little bit about BreatheINK.
So we are a fully functioning nonprofit that focuses on utilizing poetry for mostly teenagers and preteens in middle school and high schools. We do a lot of workshops in schools as well as with like city and county government. We do performance events like open mics, poetry slams. We're hosting a poetry festival for teens in the spring during National Poetry Month in April. And we do a professional development program for young artists in the summer where we actually work with poets from April through July and getting them ready to be artists in the future. And at the end of it, we end up taking them on a free trip to the International Youth Poetry Festival that's in a different city every year.
Oh, that is so cool. Why is that age group such an important spot to catch kids and really introduce them to spoken word as a way to get a lot of those feelings out?
Well, usually around middle and high school, it's very important because a lot of the literacy gets lost in that area. A lot of the programs tend to be more for youth programs tend to be more for like elementary school kids, but the middle and high school tend to get lost in there because the schools have, you know, sports or different things, other things that are going on. But poetry itself is such a vital instrument and art form for young people, and they don't realize a lot of times that it is something that they deal with every day in their music and the art that they listen to and TV shows, everything, you know, Instagram, everything that they're going around, and it's always there. Yeah. So we allow them, we open up, we unlock that opportunity for them to understand that poetry is something that they can utilize themselves as a living, breathing art form to be able to express themselves and find a community within that.
You've been coaching kids for more than 2 decades.
Yes.
How did it start for you, and why is this an important art form for you?
Well, I got inspired in college, honestly, by a poet that is now actually running one of the organizations that I started. That inspiration then allowed me to be able to go on and be able to like travel and meet all these other amazing people and then come back to Charlotte and see that we had so much talent here and we needed to be able to like cultivate and grow that talent. So I started an adult poetry organization, and then I started doing workshops in schools, and at that point then the youth came out around and said, hey, we need our own organization. So then we started up BreatheINK, and we've been running that for 10 years, and it's been an absolutely best thing I've ever done.
Well, Vanessa Hunter is a very talented young poet herself. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. You're going to give us a little bit of one of your pieces in a minute, but I want you to tell me what has been so wonderful for you about doing spoken word and learning this art form.
For me, I would say making friends and like being able to do this, because this stuff is like my passion, and I've wanted to do this since early middle school. And so like being able to like follow the dream of like being on the Brave New Voices stage and performing and stuff like that is so cool to me.
I watch people, young people in particular, who perform poetry, who do spoken word, and I think that is such a gift to be able to do that. I could never do that. What do you think is the hardest piece of the process?
Most likely the writing process.
Yeah.
Because like to get to like writing is, for me, it's hard because if I don't have the motivation, I'm like scratching a pen against paper for like hours trying to figure out what I want to write.
Yeah.
And so like getting to that point, and that is one of the hardest but one of the most fun parts to me.
We're gonna let you do your piece now, and I want you to just tell people what you're gonna be talking about in this.
Okay, I'm gonna be talking about gun violence in schools and stuff like that, and it is, yeah, just a poem about gun violence in schools.
Okay, I want you to look into that camera, number 10,
Okay.
and share.
When I started writing this poem, I didn't know what to write about, and then a lockdown happened, And there, as a poem was writing itself, I was writing a frantic text to my mother saying I love you, or waiting a shot that will make me shoot off my possible goodbye text. I try to think of things that make me happy, like my birthday, and how this date might be paired with it on my gravestone. No, I try to think of my dreams, my name and lights, and how sad it would be for my mom to have to read my name on a lit up television screen. Later, I found out it was a threat that sent all the schools into alarm. But when you hear the statistics of these shootings, doesn't it get alarming? See how these poems shoot out and continue to come as these shootings keep coming.
Oh my gosh. I mean, talk about a very heavy topic, presented beautifully. Thank you for doing that. You have to be so proud of her.
Absolutely.
I love that. All right, let's put all the information up on the screen. I just want you to kind of sit with that for a minute, and we can make sure that you have an opportunity to check out BreatheINK, all the amazing work that they're doing. Vanessa, you are beautiful. Thank you for doing that. Tim, thank you for introducing us to the coolest cats in town.
It's my pleasure. I mean, and you said it. They've got a gift, and they share that gift with everybody that lives in the Queen City.
I love it. Oh, Mary, wasn't that, it like gives you chills a little
Had
bit, huh?
goosebumps. Yeah, thank you for sharing so much your gift with us. Beautiful.